What up, fam? On this weekday morning walk. And there's a few things. One, there is a certain level of energy that is out here right now that has not been out here in the morning at this time of the morning this summer. And that energy is because school's coming back. A bunch of K through 12 schools have started. My oldest daughter's K through 12 starts next week. A bunch of the universities have come back, and there was a bunch of cars buzzing up and down this road. You can see it, you can hear it. There's always some. If you've watched these videos when I'm walking on this path, the home trail as I call it, you've heard it, you've seen it. But man, there were more out at this time of day than there are out before. So what it made me think about is the fact that we're getting to that time of year in the US where it's grind time, right? The fall, August, September, October, and I'd say the first half of November, right? It's that fall grind, trying to hit some fiscal numbers, trying to reach incoming students, trying to work with parents to get appointments for their kids and themselves. There's a lot going on right now. A lot of people are hitting their numbers right now, if you know what I mean. So look, we all have seasons of life and points and times where we have to put work first, where work becomes the priority, becomes the center point of our lives. I get it. Sometimes there's projects, sometimes there's other things that need our attention, especially if you've worked really hard to get a career that's in a field that you really like. Thank you. And someone actually stopped at a crosswalk. You know, they don't usually stop at crosswalks for a brother, so I had to yell out thank you. Anyway, you might be in a career field that you spend a lot of time to enter, so you really enjoy those projects. They are purpose-filled and passion-filled for you. But the reality is, we would all be better off if we removed work from the center of our lives, right? The most important thing that we do is not work. Work is very important, and sometimes it does need to be centered, right? However, it should not continuously be centered. It should not predominantly be the center. We just got to get out here this fall, do what we need to do with intentionality, understanding that our work is important, that it has value, that it's necessary even when we don't want to do it, because we live in a world where money runs things. Like, we have to be earning money, right? So it has value, it has importance, and there's more in addition to that I haven't really listed out. But the point is, it's really easy for us to get back in these patterns that don't reflect the new versions of ourselves that we took time to become. So if you've been walking with me on these walks, if you've been watching some of these videos, if you've been working on yourself through counseling and coaching and trying to become a better version of yourself that's more compassionate, that's more forgiving, it's more empathetic, it's more organized, it's more intentional, because you can't do any of this without intentionality, then I just want you to remind yourself, you don't have to be perfect. Every day is not going to be exactly as planned, right? And then take time this season to think about, how much am I planning for myself in the day? Do I really need to do all those things? Who is telling me that I need to? Is this space that I'm in the best for me? Are there other spaces that recognize me, recognize my strengths, provide opportunities of growth for me, provide income that is sustainable? Like, be intentional. Take some time to think about it. Some of y'all are in positions of power. Y'all know my favorite Toni Morrison quote: as you find yourself in positions of power and trust, dream a little before you think. Every time I think about that quote, it just calms me down. That's what we got to do, y'all. Take some time to dream a little before we enter this busy season of the year. It's not busy for the purpose of being busy. That busyness has a different purpose. Don't lose the meaning of busyness. Don't lose the purpose of it, right? It's not busyness for the sake of busyness. Your friends, your family, you are important. All right, I'm talking enough. Keep walking, y'all.